today?
Fantastic!
Yeah, Jeff, talk to us today. What's going on today over here in Lakeland with the youth?
Hey, we have an amazing kind of like workshop today. We're introducing some entrepreneurs to the young people because we tell them if you're not busy making your dream come true, you're busy making somebody else's dream come true. Find something you love doing and that you'll do whether you get paid or not, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah. All right, good job. How you doing today, Mr. Jeff?
Hey, I'm doing excellent.
Hey, I noticed that you are doing a lot inside of Lakeland community and other communities as well, but you're from Lakeland and you're doing a lot for the youth. Talk to them about that. Tell them what this milk stand for. Tell them what the T is. Tell them what you're doing here on the Dream Center in Lakeland, how they can support you, and not just you, but you supporting the youth, because the youth is our future.
A lot of great things in Lakeland and throughout Polk County. Something that we're doing, we got a free program on Tuesday nights right here at the Dream Center for middle school and high school students. Exposure is everything, so we're trying to expose them to a lot of different things, and it's right here every Tuesday at 6 o'clock here at the Dream Center in Lakeland. Now on Thursday nights, we meet over in Haines City in the Oakland neighborhood at the Oakland Neighborhood Center, 6 o'clock as well. It's free for all middle and high school students. And we meet Tuesday nights in Lakeland. We meet on Thursday nights over in Haines City, because we have to take these young people back. We have to give them morals. We have to give them values. We have to give them pride in order for them to be successful. So we mastered the athletics. We have to also master the academics as well. So all these kids, they need milk. They need motivation, they need integrity, they need love and knowledge. But in order to get that, we got to give them the T, which is time, energy, and enthusiasm. So we got to consistently do that to make our young people successful. Now, if you want to support the Risk Club, you could always make a donation, write a check out to Risk Club. You can also send a cash app to $, capital TEEN, capital KING. We also have an amazing summer camp, 2 amazing summer camps coming up. We have Risk Kids Camp, which is completed kindergarten through completed 4th grade. It's gonna go from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. And that's $100 per week. It includes all their meals, it includes all their trips. We'll do academic enrichment, a daily devotion, the regular summer fun stuff, your swimming, your bowling, your skating, your horseback riding. We also have something called Team Business Camp, or TBC, and that's for your completed 5th grade all the way up through high school, and it's 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. It starts June 7th all the way through July 30th, and that program is $400 for the summer for 8 weeks. So it's cheaper to send them here to the camp and versus paying the grocery bill for the summer. But we do college tours, we do business tours. We keep them really engaged, and they look forward to coming. The kids say they learn more in 8 weeks through our programs than they learn all year at the school system. And what we're looking for everyone to do, and I've been silent on this all this year, is we need 1,000 people to give $100 so that we can raise $100,000 so that the kids in our neighborhoods can participate in all the programs for free and have an excellent summer. I'm from right here in this neighborhood, right down the road in Dakota Projects, where the roaches did backflips off the countertops, the rats nibbled through the walls. We had a fan in our window, and we had to knock the dirt crumbs off our feet to go to bed at night. But I'm a product of a program called Upward Bound. Without Upward Bound, I wouldn't be successful in doing the things that I'm doing. So what I'm doing is giving back now, and I'm giving all my time and energy to help make these kids successful. They can't be what they don't see. So a lot of times they're seeing things that are negative. They're seeing drug abuse, they're seeing alcohol abuse, they're seeing gangs, and the people that are spending time with them are negatively influencing them, because the drug dealers spending time with the kids, and they say, hey, you want to smoke with your boy, you want to drink with your boy. So guess who they want to be like? But if the men come forward and spend the time with the young folks, positive men, they're going to start being positive, productive individuals. All right, we have some phenomenal guest speakers that are coming here to the Dream Center. Something with our Team Business Camp, we try to focus on entrepreneurs. Even with young people, we try to tell them to find something they love doing and that they'll do whether they get paid or not, and they'll never work a day in their life. We have a phenomenal realtor, the realtor guru, real estate genius, and he's also a military vet. And I worked with this young man before, and he's a proud supporter. Risk Club, he supported us as far as with our spring spring break trip to Atlanta. We worked together previously at a school here in Polk County, and he's dressed sharp. Now, this ain't one of the Isley brothers or nothing like that, but he's a phenomenal young man.
Mr. Thornton, how you doing? I know
good.
that you are a veteran. I want to say, first of all, I want to say thank you for your service to our country, to highlight the things that you've already accomplished. You are a well-accomplished pilot. You're also a real estate broker. You're a realtor. You're doing great things, and you're here in Lakeland at the Dream Center with Mr. Jeff today, and you're giving back. Talk to him.
So again, like Ms. Radford said, my name is Terry Thornton. I'm the broker and owner of Link Keys Realty, and it's located downtown Lakeland. And yes, my background does include military as well as being an educator in the Polk County school system. I've been an educator for about 8 years, as well as been in real estate for about 10 years. Spent 18 years in the military to finish off being a military pilot flying the UH-60s. So I believe in the children. I believe in giving back to the community. I believe in you can't be what you don't see. And my biggest thing is being in front of those young men and women and letting them know that anything is possible. With hard work, dedication, and definitely putting God first, anything is possible. And I just want to always keep my door open to if anything or anybody needs help. And again, as Mr. Jeffrey said, you was the first to top it off with $100 to get to the 100,000, and I'll be next to top it off.
Right, Mr. Terry Thornton, also, how can they reach you if they wanted to get you to come out and be supportive like you're doing today with Mr. Jeff?
Okay, you can reach me. My cell phone number is 863-860-1352. Our office number is 863-937-7000. And you can reach me at terry@linkkeysrealty.com. Or you can just reach us at info@linkkeysrealty.com.
We have a dynamic duo here with us tonight speaking. We have a product of the program from Risk Club from back at Tenor Rock, back in the day, about 13 years ago. And he has his own business now. He used to work for me. I used to run a little snack shack at Tenor Rock. They used to call me Nino Black Snacks out there. So we have a young man. His name is Adrian Lee. He has a firm business called Titan Technology. And what he does, he can explain what he does with his business. But he's a phenomenal young man in his mid to late 20s, doing some phenomenal things out there in the technological world.
Hey, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How about yourself, sir?
All right, I see you over here with Mr. Jeff. Go ahead and talk to him. You're doing technology. It's something that we need in our communities. Go ahead and speak on what you're going to be telling the youth today over here at the Dream Center in Lakeland.
All right. Hello, my name is Adrian Lee, and I am the CEO of Titan Technology. What I do is I provide smart home solutions for homeowners and for those who rent as well. In the day and age where technology is pretty much, helping us improve our lives. And I like to see myself and my company as the bridge that helps take people to that next step into that future generation that we're all about to have when it comes to having fully automated homes, security, even stuff as easy as mounting TVs with smart lights, having your house being fully operated by Alexa. Just imagine, you say Alexa unlock the door. These are the type of things that we make possible for our clients and customers.
All right, Mr. Adrian, how can they reach you if they wanted to contact you and have you come out and speak, or just to support your business?
Well, there's many ways to contact me. You can find my website online. Is titantechnology.site, titantechnology.site, or you can give me a call at 863-529-8460 or 863-934-5904. You can even find me on Facebook at titantechnology.inc.
All right. So, Mr. Jeff, what do you got going on today?
Tonight we have a dynamic duo. We have two speakers here. We have a broker and owner of his own realty firm, Terry Thornton. We also have a young man, Adrian Lee, who's a product of the program Risk Club, that has a Titan Technology firm where they do smart homes and all the different devices, making the houses energy efficient, etc. Tasty, delicious and nutritious dinner for the night.
So Jeff, you mean to tell me you got pizza coming in for the kids, for the youth over here? That's what I'm talking
we
about.
gotta feed them so they can focus.
Yes.
And Corey, one of the best managers in the world, right down there on Cumbie Road. So Corey is the best. I've been dealing with him about 13 plus years.
Yes, sir.
And everyone, we want to welcome you to our Risk Club meeting. I'm so excited. It's like we're in Hollywood tonight, but we want to make sure we do what we normally do, and we don't neglect it. So one of the most important things that we do, grace in. We got to always give God his due. And so everybody stop where you're at. Stop where you're at. Close your mouth. Heavenly Father, we'd like to thank you for today. We'd like to thank you for everyone that's here. We want you to continue to bless the Dream Center and all of its efforts. Continue to bless Risk Club here in Lakeland, and bless Risk Club in Haines City, and bless our meeting there on Thursday. Bless all the food that we're receiving for the nourishment of our bodies. Also, Lord, just bless the speakers. Bless Adrian Lee, bless Mr. Thornton. Also bless Mr. Greg Radford that's out here that's supporting our youth and doing all our filming and photography tonight. Just continue to bless our city, bless our nation. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Mm-hmm. What kind would you like, ma'am? Cheese, 2 pieces on the cheese? So we want you to be able to focus up on these speakers this evening. What would you like, ma'am? 2 taps. Tasty. House, but we got you a little something different tonight. Yes, ma'am. Tap. Tasty. You need
2. All right.
Wonderful. All right, well, you need like 6 slices. How many hours in there?
Come on, you guys. Come on.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Now we're going to feed you. We ain't feeding you on that crack cake today, so don't.
No, listen, I ain't gonna talk to you about that.
Okay, see, bottle lady. Tonight we're gonna bring a young man that I've been knowing for double-digit years. Kind of met him at Tenor Rock High School once upon a time. I used to teach algebra and intensive math out there, and I was Nino Black of the snacks then. I wasn't selling the crack cakes at that point, so I was just Nino Black of snacks. And this young man, you know, he was a young man. He had like the powdered donuts, mouth was real white. They ain't have no lotion at the house, was real ashy. But he said, Mr. William, can I work for you? Because I had a mega empire with the snacks, so he became the wagon man. He would pull the snacks around campus, and they would sell everything from honey buns to hot sausage to sodas. All the people that worked, they would go on the trips for free. They would go to Atlanta for free. They would go to Miami for free. Gaylord Palms Resort, etc. So he was always a hard worker. He ventured off the FAMU. He fell in love with technology and engineering and mathematics, and he's an awesome brainiac. So I would always give him a hard time, but at the end of the day, it made him better. I always challenged him, and I always expected the best out of him. So he's ventured out. He has his own business now. So he's a business owner. He's an entrepreneur. And he's a phenomenal young man. So I'm gonna bring him on up tonight. He's a product of the program. And like I say, you can't be what you don't see. So he's living his dream out. And he talks with me from time to time, and I always continue to support him and embrace everything that he's doing. So without further ado, we'll bring Adrian Lee on up. Come on down. Give him a round of applause.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Williams, for the introduction. Like you said, hello, my name is Adrian Lee. It's actually a pleasure to be here. Like, I really feel honored. Like you said, I'm a product of the Risk Club. So like to come out here and like to talk to fellow Risk Club members and stuff, I want to let you know I wouldn't be here today if I had not been in the Risk Club. So one thing that Mr. Williams, left out was, so for my first 3 years, I went to Lakeland Senior High School. And my freshman year is when they came up with Tenor Rock. I remember they sent us out the papers, and they were telling people, oh, vote on what the mascot and stuff was gonna be. But only if you was zone. I was not zoned for Tenor Rock, so I couldn't vote for none of this stuff. But my senior year, I was going to my senior year, and I kind of got tired of being at Lakeland. I wasn't getting anything from it. Like, I like sports, but I wasn't the best athlete. But then again, you know, like I didn't really have like a great connection with the teachers and stuff there. But so happened that the people at Tenor Rock, the teachers and faculty members, they went to my church. You know, I'm a member of Greater New Jerusalem. And so the principal at the time, Mr. Joe, and you know, Ernest Joe, he was the deacon at my church. Miss Downing, she was the pastor's, you know, daughter, and then of course Mr. Williams, you know, used to attend the church too. So it was a sense of formality, you know, like I was familiar with, you know, like with the people. So I went out there, and I had gotten to the Power Academy when I was in at Tenor Rock, and that kind of got me in the mindset that I kind of like this whole engineering stuff. Like, I always had a gift for STEM, you know, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And as y'all can see, Mr. Williams, he's a grade A trash talker, and he would talk trash to me every single day. Now, one thing that he said about me, like I've always been typically a smart person, but one thing that you learn about a lot of smart people, they're lazy. Because you look at things as a smart person, you feel like, oh, well, you know, I can do this. So, you know, you tend to just push things off to the very last minute. And then it was sometime around this time of the year, Mr. Williams was asking me, hey, do you feel like any college forms? You did your SAT, ACT? I told him no. He was like, man, you want to go to college? You know, like you late. He was like, what you doing? What's taking you so long to apply for stuff? He was like, it's April. He was like, you know, you about to graduate next month. He was like, what are you doing? So all right, so I hurry up and, you know, like, I did my stuff, and I actually got a high ACT, SAT scores on my first try. I really didn't want to try, so I did it, and then I filled out, you know, the application to FAMU, and I got accepted and stuff like that. But one of the reasons why I did it because I felt like he challenged me. Like, as when you hear how Mr. Williams talk to you sometimes, you know, some kind of way, he just push you the wrong way, and you want to, like, you know, put it back in his face, like, you see, I did it, you know, and that's what I did. And I went to FAMU. When I went there, I started, you know, like going to school. I went for mechanical engineering. I was paying for school out of pocket. I was working at the cafeteria at FAMU. That's where I started off as a dishwasher. From there, I went from being a dishwasher to working in catering. So I started doing like big events. I met the Temptations. I met Gabrielle Union. I met, I always get the two mixed up. Like, it's either Brian McKnight or Keith Sweat. One of them was at FAMU, and I met one of them. Either or, you know, it's an honor to meet them. And then from there, I started working in 2 jobs at the same time. I needed the exposure that I got when I went to FAMU, and that's one thing I used to love about the Risk Club growing up. That Mr. Williams would have, you know, give us a chance, the opportunity to be exposed to the things that's out there that you wouldn't know about unless you ventured out. Like, I was having conversations with Dre outside, and I was saying, you know, like, there's things beyond, you know, 5th Street. It's beyond Lakeland, it's beyond Polk County. Like, there's so much stuff out there for you to venture out and see, but you won't know unless you get exposed to this type of stuff or whatever. And that's why I loved about, you know, what the Risk Club did for me. Like, even the Atlanta trip, when we went and saw FAMU, I think that's honestly when I fell in love with FAMU. For you youth, one thing that you guys should, you know, keep an open mind to is to be a sponge to knowledge. Because I was a sponge to Mr. Williams. You know, like he said, when I first started doing stuff at the Risk Club, I was just toting the wagon, just, you know, pushing the cart around and stuff like that. And how he would always spit numbers and stuff like that at us, you know, pull money out, count it, you know, he'd hand you money. He'd like, how much money I hand you? You know, you can say, oh, you gave me $5. You like, did you count it? You like, no, I didn't count it. He'd like, well, count it. Like, you know, Mr. Williams, he'll do some stuff like just to test you. You $4. And like, you don't count it, how would you know? And that's just him trying to teach you a lesson that, you know, have more awareness, you know, stuff like, you know, your money and stuff like that. So like everything that just by being around Mr. Williams is a learning experience. And those just by being around the man, you know, I soaked up a lot of, you know, life stuff that's helping me out till this day. Yeah, what Mr. Williams said, just as simple as pulling a cart around. Like, man, let me have free trips just to pull a cart around and make sure people, you know, like, bought snacks. Freedom. I got free trips to Atlanta as a kid. Free trips to go to Miami as a kid. You know, I got exposed to college experience, you know, seeing FAMU, FSU, Morehouse, you know, like going to the Sawgrass Mall down in Fort Lauderdale, stuff like that, that I would have never had an opportunity to if I never was a part of the Risk Club and learned all these type of things that I learned from Mr. Williams. So I'm truly grateful. I'm truly grateful. And it's just a great organization to be a part in. Like, you'll grow with it. You'll grow just being around Mr. Williams and stuff like that. It's just that, you know, I'm just glad, like, again, just really glad to be here, like, to talk to you guys. Now, anybody have any questions that y'all want to ask? Yes, ma'am.
What's the business that you have?
The name of my business is called Untitled Chapter, Smart Home Improvements. So basically what I do is I help innovate your home into a smart home. Like, it is now, it's 2021. We live in a day and age where technology is a part of everything that we do. Like, we all know, like, what our bills are, utilities are, but one thing that's essential that you have to have is Wi-Fi. I go anywhere and there's no Wi-Fi, I'm immediately having a bad time. Now, with that being said, if you got to have Wi-Fi, now why not use devices that's hooked up to Wi-Fi that can simplify your life? Like, I'll paint a picture for you. So, how would you like if somebody were to come to your home and you can see who it is, let them in without even getting out of bed, without leaving your room? So, we had a customer, I actually worked for the other company at Key Squad. One thing that I like about smart homes, you can make dreams come true. So I once had a client, he had a disease, I'll get this mixed up. I think it's called ASL, where you can't use the extremities, the extremities and everything. So what we did is that we set his whole entire home up where he could operate it by his voice. So if people were to come to his home, we had wireless camera set up for him. So when they come up, he'll see the wireless camera like on the Alexa show. And then at that point, he could talk to the people through the doorbell camera. Like, we all know about the Ring doorbell cameras. So you could talk to them, hey, who are you? Oh, I'm here to deliver pizza. Okay, Alexa, unlock the door, because we put smart locks for them. So then you hear the door unlock, it's loud when it unlocks. And you say, all right, come in. And now you can just walk in and just drop a pizza off. Something that simple. Or better yet.
Is it sensitive to his voice? Or can anyone say, like, Alexa, unlock the door?
Anybody can say it, but you can give Alexa different nicknames. So like say if you want to change your name to Alexa, so like Gideon, if nobody knows that you changed to Gideon, they say Alexa do this, Alexa gonna be like, that's not my name.
Right.
Yeah, so like that's what I would always recommend for people, stuff like that, because that just comes to like security, because there's other things you can do with Alexa is set up a home security, with Alexa as well. So like far as having with Ring, Ring comes with pretty much like a patch like ADT, where you get an alarm set with a keypad, a panic button. You could put it in modes where you're home, away, and stuff like that. They have motion detectors. So like say if you're not home and someone were to break inside of your house and it'll pick up motion, with Ring, they will alert the police for you and people will come and stuff. So like you can have all that type of stuff set up with Alexa by giving it key phrases, putting on routines and stuff like that. One thing, for parents, I love stuff like this for parents. So like nowadays with smart things and stuff, you can actually control who and what is on the Wi-Fi. So like you have your kids and you tell them lights out at 10 o'clock, you can go into an app that controls your router. You can find the IP address of those said devices. So you have kids, they got cell phones, kick it off the Wi-Fi. PlayStations, kick it off the Wi-Fi. Smart TVs, kick it off the Wi-Fi. You can put all those things on a time frame. Like these devices can only be on the Wi-Fi from set time to set time, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Yes, sir.
So when you first started getting into IT, what was your drive to go into the IT? Is it something that came natural for you? Was it natural, or did you go into it because you knew it was a lucrative career? How did that begin? Is it your passion?
I got two answers. They're both true. One's a joke, but also one, is the debate answer. The real answer is yes, it came natural to me, but the joke to it is I always wanted to be Iron Man. I always wanted to be Batman. I want to be Bruce Wayne. I want to be a very rich individual person that had their own company, but for some reason, like I looked into those two, it had something to do with technology. And I just felt like, at first, when I went to school, my dream was to have my own engineering firm. But while I was at FAMU going through engineering, I realized quickly I didn't like chemistry. So with that, you can't be a mechanical engineer if you did not like chemistry. So find out what you want to do, then find out what you like and you don't like, because you'll find out quick. You may want to do this, but you don't like that. So maybe you don't want to do this. But at the end of the day, I knew that I wanted to make money. I knew that I wanted to be a boss. I knew that I wanted to be at the top of the food chain. And then, like you said, I've always had a passion for technology. Like you said, like that type of stuff, it really just came easy to me. Like you can hand me like a smart device and I'll start going through the apps and just naturally just figure out how it works. So why not make a business out of it?
Great. Yeah, great.
Let's give Adrian Lee a round of applause. And kind of make me feel good. You see, young people, I give all of them a hard time. I challenge them, but at the end of the day, I want them to be successful. So if they can survive me and the things that I challenge them through mentally, etc., they could go on and be successful in any type of field that they want to be successful in. So everything, like I say, is a learning experience, but I do challenge them. I get smart-mouthed and sarcastic with them. But at the end of the day, they say thank you, and that's none of them owe me nothing, and just to see them smile and to light up when they see me, that's all the pay that I need, and can say, man, I remember when I had this kid, and now they're doing all types of amazing things. So he's soon to be a millionaire. He's going through some rough patches here and there, but he has a valuable service, and he's going to be super successful because he's committed. He's a young man. So a lot of these millionaires that's out doing what they're doing, they kind of created their own path, and he's making it happen all day, every day. All right, so we have another young man that's coming tonight to speak. He's a phenomenal young man. He does a million things, so he's kind of like a jack of all trades. I had an opportunity to work for a realty firm, but he said, why not just be the broker over my own firm where I can just make all the money? I ain't got to, share with nobody but myself. So I'm gonna bring this guy forward, Terry Thornton. He's a good guy. I don't deal with a lot of people, so he gotta be solid, he gotta be quality, because you don't see me, I'm usually a one-man gang. But we hang out a lot, we talk a lot, share a lot of great information with each other, and he's a man of integrity. All right, come on down, Terry Thornton. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Woo-hoo! Let's go, veteran.
Thank you all for that. Mr. Jeffrey, for the opportunity to speak to the youth tonight. One thing, regardless of all the stuff that I've accomplished and do in life, Mr. Jeffrey knows I love the youth. And I taught in the education system, taught here in Polk County for a couple of years. Before that, taught in a couple of different states. My heart goes near out to you all. I don't see as many young males here. And I have a weak spot for that because I have a son that actually came through the program. So, we have to do something to get more males to come out and take part of this great opportunity that Mr. Jeffrey has, I guess, afforded to this community. I definitely want to say that. I definitely applaud him every day on what he does. I tell him, how happy I am for the opportunities he's given the community. And even though, he's a little older than me, I look up to him, I still tell him I'm proud of him, because what he does is absolutely phenomenal for you all. I'm thankful to God for giving me the opportunity to accomplish some things I wanted to accomplish in life. I live by just saying, hey, I want to do it, I go and do it. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's like sometimes our motivation, especially us guys and young girls that have gone on and made it, our motivation comes from somebody telling us what we can't do. And so, a lot of times in our culture, we always say, oh, I can't do it. Even when we're younger, much younger than you guys, it's like, I bet you can't do that. And what you try to do? You try to do it, right? Same thing as we get older as adults, when you still have that motivation and that drive, and that competitive spirit, it's like, I bet you can't do that. And he was like, okay, let me show you, and I'm gonna do it. So I like to stay very, very informal, and I'll talk about, Mr. Jeffrey asked me to come talk about the real estate side. So background in real estate spans almost 10 years. When I got into teaching, a lot of times we have an educator here. When I got into teaching, you have down summers. So I had to have something to do on top of, there wasn't a lot of money in teaching, so you had to supplement the income. So I got into real estate. I got into real estate on the side when I started with teaching. And one of the things I'll tell you is real estate is a very exciting industry. Ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs. And anybody can do it. I'm telling you, if you really want to do it, you can do it. Every state has different laws. So I'm actually licensed in 3 states.
Humble beginnings.
Walton Doherty is a company that no longer exists. But when I got into real estate, I was the very first black male. I was the very first black male actually in Dothan that was at the real estate association. And when I got in, my love was land. So I got in and I did a lot of land. I did commercial, a gas station deal, and mostly ranch and stuff. So, you know, I do drive a truck. I'm kind of like a black cowboy dressed up tonight because, like Mr. Jeffrey always say, you can't be what you don't see. So, you know, kind of to perpetuate that whole look of being a broker, and sometimes you have to put on that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you want to command that respect from our counterparts. In different states, there are different laws. So I was first licensed in Alabama, so that's why I just keep that as near and dear. And then I went over to the Atlanta market. So I worked in Atlanta. I went over to Georgia, and I'm still licensed now in Georgia. So if you want to buy some homes or sell some homes in Georgia, I can do that for you. Think about going from cow pastures to like $1 million homes in Atlanta. So like the knowledge, it ranges from like that. And you can sell anything. So getting a real estate license, you can sell a building like this. Anything commercial, anything residential, land, industrial, like manufacturing companies, and the commission on those are amazing. For a long time, people kept us out of this industry, and it's definitely a very lucrative industry, but it can be challenging at times. So the very first thing would be to get enrolled in a pre-license class. You can actually start this process before you're 18, but getting enrolled in a pre-license class. And they have a couple of different classes at a couple of different schools. They used to have a really, really great school here in North Lakeland, and the guy, since he's retired. You take the pre-license course, that's number 1. And then you apply to take the Florida real estate exam. Because a lot of times that one mistake can keep you out of a lot of things and opportunities for license, like even contracting license. If you don't want to sell real estate, you want to just do contracting, you want to do other things. Like one little mistake can keep us out of that. So that was another reason why I stayed in the education system, is because I wanted to be able to talk to our youth before they go down that wrong road. So even like in a platform like this is why I tell you, you know, you have to make the right choices. You have to make the right choices. So that's number 2 on the list. When you apply to take the test, you have to do your fingerprints, do a background, and if the background doesn't come back, you can't take the test. So a lot of times, a lot of people they'll do their background before they waste the money on a class. All right. Number 3 is past the state exam. So the state exam is actually pretty easy. Once you pass the class exam, it's just like in your normal high school classes or middle school classes. They prepare you extremely well for the test, and once you're prepared for the test, all you need is a 70. So number 4, in order to truly sell real estate, you have to affiliate with what's called a broker, and I'm actually a broker. I have my own real estate company. Good at sales, have some type of training program for you that's very supportive of you. And at the end of the day, we always talk about that broker deal. You know, what's the percentage? You have some great, well-known firms like your Keller Williams, your La Rosas, your Century 21s. Those firms, they're good, name recognition, get you out there, but it's just you have to look at what's best for you. And so you have to affiliate with a brokerage company. And the last thing you have to do to actually use the title of realtor is to associate with a realtor association. And in Polk County, we have 2. We have one that's East Polk, and we have the one that's here in Lakeland. And and both of them are actually pretty good. I've been a member of both of them, as well as the one in Tampa. And it's all about like having that professional recognition and that support. Now, being in real estate is kind of like this. All right, so a typical day, you get up, you know, you kind of have to be purposeful. So a lot of times you get up, you do your cold calls. Who in here has done sales? Yeah. So you understand? Yeah. It's really that. You do your cold calls, you call your prospects, and you build relationships.
Sir, what is cold calls?
So cold calls is basically calling somebody that you don't know at all, but you may have a lead that they may be interested in real estate, but based on your swag, right? You may be very convincing of them wanting to sell a house that they may not have wanted to sell at that time, or you may convince them to buy a house where it was like, oh, you know, they were going to buy a house maybe in another year or two. But based on your conversation and based on the relationship and the rapport that you're building with them, then they're like, wow, you know, the first thing I'm telling you clients want to know is they want to know that they have some type of connection, and then they can trust you. So once they break that, and then you start to build those commonalities where you have things in common. So the big thing is to listen, but ask questions. Ask a lot of questions, listen, and see where in your life you can tie those two together. You may not have a dog. You may have had a dog when you was younger. They may have a dog. Oh, I remember when I had a dog. You know what I'm saying? So something that's going to like pull at those heartstrings to get them to open up and talk to you more. And then you have to listen to what they're saying so you can provide the services or the product they need. And our product being a home or a business, right? And the commissions off of those are pretty good. So in the real estate market, you can do very well if you know how to build those connections and those relationships. Building those relationships is what brings you customers or clients. So we can say customers or clients, and with those customers or clients, what we want in real estate is we want repeat business. So in real estate, repeat business means I just created or I just made a friendship. So I may sell you your first time home, right? So in 2 to 3 years, you know, you got a promotion at your job, you saying, oh, well, you know, I want to upgrade. You may have gotten married, have kids, now you need a bigger home. So if you like my service the first time around and I'm actually doing what we call is staying in contact with you, maybe calling you or sending some type of email marketing campaign on your birthday. Staying in contact on special holidays, on anniversaries. And so when that time comes, who are you gonna think about? You're gonna think about me, right? So now you're ready to buy another home. Maybe that entry level home was like $200,000. Now, you know, you've got a promotion, you're the CEO now. Now, here I am, I just sold you a $400,000 or $500,000 house. So that's kind of how real estate works. You're definitely not gonna get rich overnight. Definitely not. It's really a longevity. Like once you get into real estate, first couple of years, you can make pretty good money. You're gonna be working your tail off. You really are. You're gonna be running nonstop. But it's the long game. Basically, after 5 and 10 years, you have that longevity in the market. They know who you are. You're a reliable person. You build that rapport. You have those relationships, and you can connect with that clientele, whatever, and you have a niche. That clientele, and however you want to connect with it. You can just do first-time homeowners or vacation homes, or you can go into investment properties, like Mr. Radford doing investment in flips. So there's so many different sectors of real estate. So you don't have to worry about somebody, you know, stepping on your toes in anything. Even if I say I'm a first-time home buyer or seller in this market, and we have 20 people, you have thousands and thousands of people that's looking for homes every single day in Polk County. Thousands and thousands of people who are moving to Polk County every day. Every day I look in the news, they're asking for permits to build a subdivision. I think over on the east side, they're trying to build a 6,000 unit subdivision. It's crazy. So so they have to be somebody over there to sell those homes, right? So if you was getting real estate right now, and with even the projections to sell 1 or 2 homes a month, how much do you think that is a year? If you let's do some simple math. So we have most percentages is probably right at 6%, and that's the selling and the buyer side. So you're getting 3%. So let's say it's a $200,000 home. You got 3% of that deal. How much is that?
200,000. Now hit the times button, and then hit 3, and then hit the percent sign and hit equal. Tell them how much is it.
6,000.
There you go.
6,000. Okay, so that's one sale. How many people make $6,000 in a week? How many people make $6,000 in a month? I was in a school system. I still didn't make $6,000 in a month. I'm saying as a certified teacher, right? So that's one sale. So let's say let's just do some simple math. So you have $6,000. We got 6,000 homes being built over on the ridge, right? So let's say this table 4 people. So let's say we're selling. Let's just say we're gonna make it really. This is an easy week, 3 homes a week, because that's like every other day you get dressed, right? But if you're really pushing, I'm gonna give you 5 to 10 homes, which is doable. Some people do it. So 3 homes a week. So say 3. How many weeks you have? How many weeks you have in a month?
Like 4.
All right. So let's say 3 homes. So how much?
Oh, she got it. There you go.
How much is that?
72.
72 what? 72,000.
For the
In what?
For the month.
No. Say 6 months.
You're
In
not
what?
paying attention.
1 month.
1 month.
You have, all right, so now let's take back to education. You have principals don't even make that in a year. So now do that times 12. What's 72,000 times 12?
864,000. 864,000.
So you're almost at $1 million, right? In 1 year. In one, no, 3 homes a week.
That's what I'm saying. Is that like, that's not
Three-
average?
Not really.
Three homes. It depends on what you've already built up. It's your platform. Now, is most realtors doing 3 homes a week? No, most realtors not doing 3 homes a month.
Right.
But once you start getting the ball rolling, it is feasible that you can actually do 3 homes a week.
Easy.
But what he's telling you is, if you did do that for 1 month, you've made a salary of a principal.
Right. So that's why I'm trying to tie the education and the.
That's what I want.
Is there a quota that you have to meet, or is it
No,
just at your
your-
own speed?
your
Oh, that's a
quota-
good question. Say that again loud.
Is there a quota that you have to meet, or is it just your own speed?
All right, so your quota is your limitations. What Mr. Jeffrey say? You have no limitations, right? So if you have no limitations, we just did a simple math and we made $800,000. How much do you want to make?
Oh,
So yes, and like Mr. Radford said, but you, all right. So typically in areas, right? In this area, yes, you're probably not seeing the average realtor doing that, but in the Atlanta market, that's feasible. That's what
Yes.
I'm saying. You have multiple.
Exactly.
You have multiple realtors that's doing that.
Yes.
In the Atlanta market. I'm saying, yeah, I have this girl group I started with at Keller Williams. They left Keller Williams, started their own firm. Like here I am, starting my firm down here in Polk County. You know, getting pointers from them, and they posted their numbers last year during COVID. Like 2 young ladies cleared their GCI, which is their gross commission. So just sales volume was $91 million. So
Now break that down for them.
In Atlanta.
Break that down. He's gonna break it
$91
down.
million, right? So they didn't bring home $91 million. The gross sales from all their sales was $91 million. Now, those sales was, I don't know if it was 6% on this one, 2.5 on this one, or 3 on this one. So let's keep it simple. And if you can actually get close to probably what they brought home, if you just divide it by 3, right? So you say 91 million.
Calculator.
What's 3% on 91 million?
That's a big number. 91 mil. Just put it 0, 0, 0.
This was during
One more.
the pandemic.
Right there. Times 3. Woo! Let's look at that number.
So
How much is it?
It had to be over 3 million.
2.73 million.
And just think, you and your partner split that. They're the 2 brokers of the company. They didn't share it with anyone. But Uncle Sam, because he won his tax. But
And possibly they might have double-ended it, so they might have got 6% or 5%. So they could have been a higher volume.
Right, and that's the only reason I said 3, because some's gonna be higher, some's gonna be lower. So that was ballpark the lowest that they made. Absolutely. And because a lot of times those listing agents get both sides, because when people call on their sign, they don't have a realtor.
That's right.
That's where you want to be, on the listing side. That's where the money's made. Yes, ma'am.
With the real estate agents, do you think that it's more of a women-dominated profession or male-dominated?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. Back in the day, it was all male-dominated profession. Like historically, it was all male. More so now is the residential is more woman-dominated. I should say that. Commercial is heavily, real heavy, male-dominated, and a lot of times more your commercial deals are your 10 and 11%. But now that deal may take about a year, but each deal is gonna probably be multiple $1 million. Yeah, but a lot of times when people have deals like that, they're not a sole lonely realtor or a broker. It's a team. When you have big deals, you may have a 5, 6, 7, 8, 10-man team or woman team, because you have so many people on the team. You have an accountant on your team. You have a lawyer on your team. You have a surveyor on your team. You have engineers on your team. Because when somebody's spending that much money, they want to know answers. They want to know the highest and best use of this property. What can they put on this property? And a lot of times, if you have that team that's giving them answers, they don't have to go seek it from somebody else. So you don't mind sharing that $30 million with somebody, do you?
No.
You're the broker, so you can say how it gets split up. However, you want to have the answers for when they come and ask you the answers. So doing commercial and land deals a little different than as you see on HGTV when they walk into the house and say, hey, look at this house, and can you imagine your bed right here? Can you imagine, the TV? Or they flipping houses, they're not really flipping.
Flip or flop.
Yeah. When they're just doing like, painting a room or taking a wall out, or, yes, ma'am.
I don't know if this question makes sense or not, but you said it took them 5 years for one deal, right?
Say that again.
You said it took them 5 years for one deal.
For one deal, that one deal.
Okay, so at the end of that deal, who we receiving the money?
Absolutely.
Okay, but during those 5 years, what income is he making? Does he have?
So, great question.
And that's good. So during that was just one deal. So real estate is like this. Real estate is like this. So you want to grow your book of business to where you have multiple transactions going at one time. You may want to have, and when you get into business and you understand, you have your 30-day increments, your 60-day, your 90 days. You may have somebody that want to close in a couple of weeks. You have some flippers or some investors saying, hey, we need to be in right now. We need to be out within 30 days. You know what I'm saying? Because they're about lending money and getting their money out, going on to the next deal. So a lot of investors, they're not totally looking at doubling their money. They're just looking at making money. Their thing is money. If they can make money and in a short amount of time, they have to make it and get it out, because they need to put it in the next deal. They do that multiple times, they're making a ton of money, right? So the question he was asking, so what did he do during those 5 years? So he didn't totally sit there and just wait for this deal to close. He had other transactions going on. Yeah. And the only reason I use that story is because I was saying it can happen. And this isn't somebody that went to some great school or worked for Keller Williams. This is somebody who started out in the real estate game and went into the development side, right? And he had a full development team. And like I'm saying, you have all those people on your team. So when you have your investor come and ask those questions, you're saying, hey, I refer to my expert on the team, my subject matter expert, SME, call it in the military. So subject matter expert, which would be your engineer, your surveyor. So a lot of times you'll take those small wins, because at the end of the day, at the end of that 5 years, now he had a windfall to where now he can invest. A lot of times people in real estate get in real estate to make money, to be able to give back, invest in things, because this is the only industry where you make that much money. is in real estate, right? All right, so yes, ma'am.
So I was thinking, right? Say you book a speaking gig.
Yes.
In the contract, they'll say like if you cancel within 30 days, 2 weeks, week of, there's some percentage you still get, right, of the speaking deal.
Yeah.
What if, so the 5 years he's locked in, he's doing this work and things fall through? Is there any type of
Incentive.
non-incentive, more like compensation for? Because like, okay, if I get a contract like I said, and say Mr. Jeffrey hires me to come speak, but 2 weeks before the event, he said, hey, the event is canceled, and the contract will say you still have to pay 50% of what we agreed on.
Okay.
So in real estate, if he's working and he's 3 years in and something on their end falls flat, does he get any type of compensation for that?
So
Good question.
Yeah, it's really
Good
good.
question.
I'm gonna bring you in on this one.
Yeah.
So in real estate, in true real estate, no. You got what I'm saying?
Yes, right.
As an agent, as a broker, no, you get nothing. But when you talking about on your investment side and your development side, all that is factored in and written into their deadlines. So they're going to get something because their teams invested some time in there. So if they want to pull out, they can, but they're going to pay them for their work and their time. His teams were making money by doing different things throughout that process.
Right.
Absolutely. So it's a yes and a no question because
But
in
he
true,
would have lost out.
absolutely, absolutely. So in true real estate, absolutely not. We cross our fingers and cross our toes until closing day. I'm just
That's
being
right.
honest, and hope that when we sit down at that table at the title company, that everybody signed on the dotted line, and when it's all signed, it goes through and they slide our check across the table. Real estate is really like that in 2021. It really does. It saddens me to say that because I'm a younger guy, and you have it's been around for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And why hasn't it been tapped into?
Yeah.
Just like Mr. Radford said, because it's that exposure. All right, so we have any more questions? My brother had sent me, so my brother's a developer in DC. He sent me some talking about family trust. So if you can't sell it, and talking about how the Rockefellers set up family trust, and they paid it, and they invested the family trust from the real estate they didn't sell, invested in the S&P, and everybody for 11 generations, when they got 18, it paid them that percentage out of the S&P, which was about 6%, right? So their family from houses that they didn't sell, they put them all together and put it in a trust. So their families, kids, grandkids, got that money for 11 generations, right?